So, have you ever wondered if there is a text type meant to give your own perspective or position of an article, book, or newspaper? So, there actually is, and it is called a letter to the editor. It is a public response to an issue, article, book, or even at a debate. Its purpose is not to summarize the article, but to give your own and clear position about the article. You can even do a call to action at the end of it. So, its key structural features is that a letter to the editor needs to start with your name, your address, and more, because they are normally published in a newspaper, so they must have your information so the audience can also know who you are. So, the typical outline of a letter to the editor is to start by an introduction, and at the beginning, you need to give a description of what the issue is going to be or the theme about the letter to the editor. You need to give your arguments, and also the most important part is to end with a thesis statement so you can develop it throughout the letter to the editor. The body can include from one to three arguments that it will be developed throughout each paragraph with factual evidence for it to support your claim or your thesis statement. This is very important so the audience can understand your perspective and what you're talking about. And also, the conclusion will end with restating the thesis statement and giving the reasons of supporting your body and your thesis statement. A letter to the editor is a very formal text type because it must engage the audience and the publisher, and it also needs to make you look like you know what you're talking about. So, three writing strategies would be to state your main point early so the audience know what you're talking about, to focus on one main issue so the letter to the editor is not very mixed, and also use evidence-based claims for it to sound more convincing and persuasive. So there are three common mistakes that should be avoided while writing a letter to the editor. One of it is exceeding the word limit because they are usually posted on news articles, so they must follow the limit. The second one is being too aggressive or too emotional. If you are very emotional and not neutral in the text, you can lose credibility. And the third one is writing a long essay instead of a letter. Essays actually have very long paragraphs, but the letter to the editor have very short and precise paragraphs.